We're good, man.
All right. Hello. I want to welcome everybody to another segment of the It Works Man show.
We're good.
And you can be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here with us. So I appreciate that. And tonight, Corey's here with me. How you doing, Corey?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. I am feeling great. We were able to avoid this last little hoorah of wintertime snow, so it's good to get that out the way. But other than that, man, I am feeling great. I am energized. I am pumped. We are actually headed out to Dallas in 2 days on Friday. I'm so excited about that, man.
Awesome. And we have Larry on tonight. How you doing, Larry?
How you doing, guys? Doing good.
Oh man, great. Good to have you on, man. And for those of you watching, if you are a It Works distributor or your significant other's a It Works distributor and you're not in the man cave, holler at one of us. We would love to get you in there. Group of positive guys just trying to keep it on the up and up and living this thing and doing it every day as a man in the business. Mm-hmm. So I guess we'll start it off. Larry, tell us how It Works found you, because you never find it, you and your wife.
Yeah, it definitely found us. And thanks, Corey. Thanks, Rob, for having me on, man. I appreciate you guys inviting me on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And appreciate all you do. I know y'all put a lot of work into this every month. Watch a few of you guys' videos. I appreciate it. I know your business is busy enough, and you guys doing extra for the guys, man. That's awesome. So kudos to you. But I'm actually in cold Atlanta. It's about 38 degrees right now. It's absolutely freezing.
Wow.
And I think it's pretty ironic because I have some friends in Colorado today, and it was 75. So I don't know what's going on, man. But just our story, real quick. We've been in the business right at 4 years with Presidential Diamonds, and my wife basically someone from church invited her over to get a wrap. And when she was walking out the door, me and my daughter said, "Hey, we'll give one of those a try." And I was assuming it was one of the mummy wraps, where you wrap yourself up real good and tight. But I was willing to try it. And she went over there and really liked it and liked the business plan. And she came home. And my personal background is I have a business degree. So when she come home telling me that we're gonna make a lot of money selling wraps, as a good husband always would, I says, I bet we can. But, in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't think this is going to happen. I did the invisible husband eye roll, and she said, I think we can make a little money. And all she really wanted to do is make a little $500, $800 extra a month just to be hers, her money. And so at first I was not on board, man. It found us, and I think as a man, what I have found in this business, reflecting on myself, having a traditional business degree is sometimes we put down and we're critical of what we don't understand. And this business model kind of throws us for our traditional loop. You can't find this in the business book page, 47 verse 8. This is a hustle business. You put the blood, sweat, and tears in, you can make some money. And I don't think people really understand the potential, and I certainly didn't. So, of course, I kind of let it just roll off my back a little bit. And she went Ruby in about 90 days. And in about 6 months, we were going to go on a cruise. We're going to the Caribbean, which is about where I need to be right now. And she said, you know what, I'm going to cover that. She got herself up to some Emerald Pay. And what's the old saying with most guys? Once there's a comma in the check. So all of a sudden, her business turned into our business. She started making a little money, and I was like, okay, I'm with you. And we were pretty strategic. This business, it definitely has its ups and downs. But if you have a plan A and there is no plan B, that this is what you're going to do, and you're going to do it no matter what. You can do very, very well in this business. So in the first year, we went diamond, and just about clockwork. Every 12 months, we went double diamond, and then we went triple diamond. Then we went presidential. Last year, we were able to get that $100,000 bonus, so that never hurts things too bad.
Yeah.
So it's been a good ride. I think the money's great, I think, but they always say fun and friendships, and as a guy, you're like, what does that mean? But I've met some incredible human beings in this business. I've met some fine men, some fine couples that will be lifelong friends because of this crazy rep thing. So it's been great. My daughter's in it. She is 24, just turned 24, and she's a triple diamond. My son's in college. He's a linebacker at the University of West Georgia. He's a sophomore. He's a double diamond. My daughter-in-law and son, they're just getting into it. They're a diamond right now. So it's a family affair, and it's fun because of the freedom.
Right. Absolutely, man. And I couldn't agree with you more. Your story just sounds parallel to mine. My fiance brought it home and she was going to try it. And, I just said, okay, that's your thing. You go do that. I got real things to deal with tomorrow morning when I wake up and leave the house,
Mm-hmm.
So heard her kicking and screaming and, oh, man, I can button pants I couldn't button last night. And then everybody went nuts and knocking at the door. And I pulled up one day, a policeman was knocking at the door. I called in ahead of time. I said, is everything okay? And he just came to get wraps for his wife, So, it took off fast. We flew to Florida, and I got locked in the office with Mark. I was taking the greens. I loved the product, but I still associated it with a woman's thing, and this was well back in 2012. And he grabbed my hand. I shook his hand, and he held my hand. It wasn't even harder and got my attention. And he said, man, you need to get on board with this, as a man, if we have a certain type of product that does cater to the women, that's always going to keep some money in your pocket as a man. And those things really resonated with me. He said, you see that golf course you were on last night? I paid a few million cash for that. And that's my hobby. Right. And again, that really hit me hard as a man. I said, well, I got hobbies too. That's awesome. So I was running ever since and got involved ever since. Corey?
I love hearing the stories every month, man. I know that, because I've been in the business about 4 years as well myself. And, I know there's a lot of folks that, have been in longer. There's a lot of folks that are new. I think when we had the call earlier this week, I think they said something like 13,000 people had joined in like the last, I think like 4 days or something like that throughout the course of the last promotion that we just had. And I just find that amazing. No matter where the stories are as far as like the length of time that you've been in, or where you're from, whether we have folks from the West Coast, from the East Coast, from the South, from the Midwest, there always are like these key things that stand out that I just love to hear. And so to kind of parallel it a little bit, when my wife got involved in the business, she was actually looking for a way to earn some extra income. And she tried a part-time job, but there's 24 hours in a day. You got 8 hours at your 9 to 5. Really, that's 10 because you got an hour commute there, hour commute back. You got 8 hours that you sleep. That's 18 out of the 24. There's not a lot of room to fit in another commute, another part-time job. So a coworker actually invited her to a rap party. And the reason that she went was it was a really inexpensive way to have a girls' night out. We were doing okay at the time, right? Like, I had a 6-figure job. My wife worked for the state government here. My wife's got a master's degree. We were, traditional, regular, folks that look good on paper. But we were not able to get ahead. I wasn't able to build a savings. I wasn't able to pay off the debt that I had. And I had goals, like this is at this time we were just dating. This is a woman I wanted to marry. Spoiler alert, we got married. And, I wanted to, get a house and, just live out the dream that you see. If I work hard, I should deserve to have these things if I choose to have them. So, the same way, like you were saying, Larry, she came home and she was like, I got results. All my friends got results. The girl made $200 there, and all she did was just talk to us, like literally just talking as fast as that. Is what she said when she came through the door. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, come on, let's do it, right? I don't know what this thing is. Like, sure, like, doesn't benefit me to tell you no, right? Like, I don't want no animosity in my house. I don't want to, sleep on the couch or anything crazy like that. So, this thing has just taken off, man. And you mentioned something, Larry, about the friendship and the fun and the freedom. And, I remember when I started, I thought I was the only guy in the company. right? Because you got to think about it, right? Like, you don't know anyone else in the company. You just know, like, the person that signed you up, maybe you see like one other person online, and like, that's it. And literally, like, I saw nothing but women. So I'm like, I'm the only dude doing this. You know what I mean? I didn't care. I was like, fine, like, we're making money. Like, like, this is amazing. Like, who cares what people think, right? And it was when I went to my first event that I really like got a taste of what the company is and what that culture is. And their friendship, fun, and freedom really resonated with me. I remember going to my first event, and it was a one team, one mission here local to me, and there was maybe like 100 people there, and Mike Patilla was there. And I just remember just listening to the story and just feeling like, wow, like, all these people, I don't know them at all, but like, they all have the same vision that I have. We all started this crazy business, and we all are aspiring to be more and to do more. So I find that amazing. I love the fact that we're able to meet a new person every month, whether Rob reaches out and invites, whether I reach out and invite. It's just an amazing feeling, because to be able to prop up and support us fellow guys and let us know that, like, hey guys, yeah, there may be more women in the business than guys, but like, we have a role to play in this business. We can be successful in this business, and this is not a women's only business. And if that wasn't enough selling for you, money's green. Money doesn't have the little woman sign with the dress, or like the little like stick figure man thing, like when you go to like the restroom. Money's just green. So good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So Larry, I mean, we probably have people on here who are seeing this for the first time, who've been invited, and they're like, what the heck are these guys talking about? I mean, give us a little insight on how this business has changed your life, and professionally, where were you before this?
Professionally, my background was, again, I had with a business degree. I also had a theology, a bachelor's in theology, so did a lot of work in a local church. But I always had my hands in, as you guys know, being working in the local church, or a teacher, or some of those jobs. That they're great jobs, but sometimes you're not paid, almost like a policeman, teacher, pastor. They're sometimes can be minimal. And so I always wanted to have my hands in something. And I've been blessed since I was in my young 20s to have my hands in a little something to be able to take that extra vacation, to be able to keep debt down, maybe put a little money away, or buy a new vehicle and that kind of thing. So when we started this, when we got into this, with all that coming from my background, this was a unique process for me when Pamela first started it. And I took a look at it, and at first, I was like your typical guy, labeled it as a ladies' business. But it didn't take me long to learn, this is a health and wellness business. And the quicker I embrace it and take it on as mine as a man, the quicker things are going to take off for me. The quicker things are going to take off for us as a couple. And understanding my role. If you're doing this as a couple, what is your role? Because I feel like sometimes as guys, I see sometimes the guys can be one of the biggest hurdles or obstacles because of their negativity, or their demanding of time, or not understanding what needs to be done to pull this business off. Because sometimes there are some sacrifices. There might be some extra duties at the house that I may grab real quick, so Pam can get that next LC or DT, or vice versa. But you know what? At the end of the day, when I looked at this business, I was like, you know what? I'm a blessed man that I've been able to hustle and find things to do well my whole life. But what does the next 20 years look like for me? I wanted to know. I didn't want to always hustle. When can I be at a point to where you can start making good money, and money start making money for you, instead of the only money you're gonna make is what you put your hand to that day.
Right.
So I want to start looking at retirements and what the possibilities of a second home, and all those things that society teaches you that quote unquote only rich people do, and that this business has enabled us to grab and do. For me personally, the transformation of my own personal mind, because I was like everybody, but me personally speaking to me, I was my own hurdle, in this business. And as soon as I got out of my own way, as our DNA of our leadership says, I was able to take off in this business as well.
Or
so I want to kind of touch on 2 points, right? So my background is in telecommunications sales, right? I worked for Comcast and Verizon for basically the last 10 years or so. And something that you mentioned, Larry, that really stuck out to me was I was paid to bring new business into the company, right? And, no gripes. They paid me well, right? I love doing it. I did all up and down the East Coast. I'm from Maryland here. I worked in Atlanta. I worked in Connecticut. I worked in Carolina, all over the place, right? But the one thing that really stood out to me when I got into this business that opened my eyes was that every single month, if I signed up thousands of people for service, I got paid at the inception of the service and never again. There are people I signed up 10 years ago that still have service. And they're paying their monthly premium every single month, and I don't even see a penny, half a penny, a third of a penny for it. So when it came to this business, because anybody, by the time they get to their early 20s or so, they've heard of the word residual income in some capacity. They may not have a full grasp of it, but they've heard of it in some capacity. And I remember when I finally realized that, hey, the work that I did last month, right? The customer that I helped enroll last month, the distributor that I helped launch last month, I'm still going to make money that month, the next month, and beyond. And that was what really opened my eyes. So I'll give you a twofold thing for the guys that are on here, right? So once you get over yourself, right? Okay, first and foremost, get over your damn self. So this call is the first step to that. Once you get over that, you can start to think about two things. You can start to think and dream about how you want things to be versus relative to where they are now, right? So, for example, if your family is living check to check or below check to check, or, you were like me where you're making good money, you're doing what you need to do, but you can't build a savings, and hey, listen, time goes one way, it goes forward, don't go back. So you're getting closer and closer to your retirement age, you're getting closer and closer to, jumping around a little bit, but telecommunications is literally changing overnight. When I left, the kids, the 18, 19-year-old kids, they weren't interested in TV. That was a third of the items I got paid for. So I was making less and doing more. Okay, that happens in a lot of industries. That's not unique to just mine. That happens. It's happening all over the world, all over this country. So think about where you are now relative to where you want to be. That's your dreaming phase, right? And think about what you can do to start to change that, right? So they give the statistic often that an extra $500 can be the difference between, owning your home and losing your home. Okay, that extra $500 can be the difference of having a happy marriage and having a rocky marriage, right? Most relationships in this country will end for financial issues, and let's not get it twisted, guys. That's a hard thing to deal with, right? Because both parties are frustrated. So imagine if you can do a business with a part-time spare time that can, one, pay you a residual amount for the rest of your life. It's a willable business, right? Larry, you mentioned earlier, you've got two of your kids that are diamond and above in this business, I'm the same way. This business pays my sister and my brother-in-law's college tuition, right? And so yes, I can make a lot of money, right? Let's say that I make the most money in my family, just hypothetically, right? That's great. But if all the other people around me haven't, reached up or gotten to that next level, it's only a matter of time before small little things start to rely upon me. So if I can use this business to help others in my family earn some additional income, whether it's $500, whether it's $1,000, whether it's $2,000, we all win. Because you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So we're all winning at this point. So I know I'm bouncing around a little bit. So think about where you are now, what you want it to be, and think about the actions that you can take immediately, right? So if you're already distributing this business, like Larry said, figure out what your role is. There's no pride in that, okay? If you have to, I have a daughter, she's 4 months, we take shifts. You know, like my wife's with her right now. Okay. 5 minutes before we started this call, my wife was on a call. I had it, right? We're taking shifts to maximize our effort as parents. You know, if you got to cook dinner, if you got to, you know, do the dishes, if you have to host a wrap party, find out what your role is and get that done. And then the last thing before I turn it back over to you, Rob, is something that Joel says. Talk to your spouse and ask them what they need you to do, not what they want you to do, right? Because they'll want you to sign up 10 customers and 10 distributors a month, right? To find out what they need you to do. And once you guys have that clarity and that communication, then do that to the best of your ability. You know, get over your damn self, stay out of the way, right? No negative, just keep pushing forward. And you'll be amazed where you'll be in 6 months in this business, right? Like I started this business in February of 2013, right? It's been so long, I gotta like really count the years. I started in February 2013, and within 6 months I was triple diamond. So imagine where you fellas can be if you just stay out of the way, right? Like get your negative thoughts out the way, keep that away, push forward, do what you need to do as a unit. Imagine where you could be in 6 months. Imagine where you could be in a year. Imagine where you could be in 5 years, right? Like this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So that's all.
Yeah, man. No,
Good job, man. Good job.
Most definitely. I see. You know, we feel your passion, and in one way or another, we all carry that passion. You know, I'll take it a different direction and ask you, what are you prepared to do if the person who's raised you all your life and looked after you when you couldn't look after yourself needs you? You know, see, that's what hit me when last year when my grandfather's health was failing, and pretty much no one else in the family had enough free time to be there. But I was able to be there every day, day in and day out. Actually, me and one other relative, and he's also been a mentor of mine, my uncle. He owns his own business. So we were like the only two, you know, who could be there, who they could call at any given time, 24 hours a day, and we could just drop everything and come because we both had that freedom. So, you know, are you going to be ball and chain to building someone else's dreams? Or are you going to start something part-time for you? Because at the end of the day, you know, nothing is secure as what you build for yourself. And, you know, being here with It Works, you know, I could say within the last several years, that was an aha moment for us, just having that time. Even the fact of in 2014, we were in a car accident, and the physical therapies and the pain. And she used to always say to me, well, man, if we had to show up for work, we'd be in trouble because we couldn't go. You know, we were just in too much pain to really do anything. But what we had built up to that point, the checks kept coming. So I feel like that's very important because no one wants to change anything until something happens. And anybody who's on here listening, don't wait for something to happen. Do it now. Larry?
Hey, Rob, I think that's a incredible, and I think it's totally undersold. We hear the cliche freedom of time all the time in our business, but it's so valuable because I know you guys know, being in the business world, that I know plenty of people that do well financially that can't even break away from what they do. I mean, they can't even enjoy the money because of the stress, or if they feel like if they walk away for a week or go away for 2 weeks, it'll all fall apart on them. And, like Rob said, being with family, I mean, my wife and I sit down many times, and we truly are thankful every single day for the check. But we are very, very thankful for the time that we get to spend together, the quiet moments. Josh Parker out in Utah, I heard him share about a week or two ago. He was talking about, this is the greatest example I've heard of this. He says, freedom time's kind of like Saturday. Most people get Saturday off, and everybody does different things for Saturday. Some people that's sleeping in. Some people that's going in the yard and working. Some people that's going to the flea market, to the store, hanging out with the kids, going to the park. Everybody's Saturday looks different. And what this company enables us to do is every day's a Saturday, because we get to choose what we want to do on that day, and which is incredible, Rob. I know exactly what you're saying. Finances are great, but the freedom of time is just over the top of being able to live your life day to day and do the things you need to do.
Absolutely, Core.
I mean, you're right, man. Like, you guys can see it, man. Like, my eyes are red, man. Like, I stayed up working this business and taking care of my daughter till 1 o'clock this morning. We had a pretty mild to baddish kind of snowstorm, a lot of ice this morning. My mom's route to work takes her through, like the back roads, and those aren't always touched. So I was able to, wake up at 6 o'clock this morning and drive my mom to work. I was able to take her to work and take her back, and just like helping her out the house to the car, like her whole like driveway and everything was just full of ice, So, like Rob, you were mentioning, and Larry, you were mentioning, like, as a man, you understand and feel that need to be able to protect the people that you care about, whether that's spending time with them in a time of need, or whether that's being able to do a favor for them and it not affect or throw off your whole day. So I would much rather, do something crazy like this business, right? Take a crazy chance on something that will change my life and my family's lives. And I would much rather be able to, spend the time with the people I care about, because that's the one thing we never get back. From the time we're born, there's an hourglass, there's just dripping sand particles that we never get to stop or turn over. I would much rather spend that time doing the things I love with the people I love than trading that time for a paycheck, right? A friend of mine once told me, because when I did cable, a lot of it was commission based. And he would say, hey, like, Corey, I can never work a 9 to 5. I can never work an hourly job, because I cannot accept that is all my time on earth is worth, is $10 an hour, $20 an hour, $30 an hour. My time is worth much more to me than that dollar amount. Like, we are conditioned to hustle for a weekend. So like Larry was saying, with this business, every day is a Saturday. We wake up and figure out what we want to do, when we want to do it, and how we want to do it, right? Like like Mark mentioned at conference, we have an opportunity to become legendary. And that's not just a cool thing to say, even though it is, but there's meaning behind that. There's real true value and meaning behind that. When you're doing the 9 to 5, and listen, I'm not bashing anyone that's working, because I understand, you got to be able to take care of your family. All I'm saying to you is take a real hard look at that, because you might have been sold a bag of lemons, okay? There is an alternative way, and it works. No pun intended, but it works.
Right. Larry?
Yeah, it goes back to what you just said. Don't knock what you don't understand. And I see that on the guy's side so many times. Guys that I'll go to school with, they'll say, man, you guys are knocking that business out. And in their mind, they're thinking they have to sell X amount of wraps or X amount of pills to make a lot of money. And they're thinking, to make a lot of money, that's a lot of wraps or a lot of pills. And, that's 1/5 of the way we get paid, as we know. Again, most people don't understand the getting paid again and paid again and paid again, Corey. Anything that I've ever put my hands to, I've been blessed to get some good checks, but that check was gone, and I would not draw another dime off of that job. So I was going to have to find another big, great job to draw that again. And this business just keeps on rolling and keeps on rolling. And one thing I just want to add, and we teach our teams this, in the corporate world or anything I've ever done, I mean, it's a pretty cutthroat world out there. Everybody's looking out for number one, and the culture of our company is such a team sport, and I really, really like that, because at the end of the day, if I want to be a diamond, I need to find 3 people that I want to be a ruby and make $500. And we teach our team, you know what? Don't look at yourself. Find that single mom. Find that family member. Find that neighbor that they would help their family to make $500. You do that 3 times, by default, you're taken care of. And you do it 5 times, you can be a double diamond. So we really teach this business is really neat. Helping others, in return, I get help. Not many things left in the world that you get paid for helping others like that, and get paid well for helping others.
Absolutely, man. I love that. And, I'll just leave everyone watching with this. I was driving my brother back to college, a while ago now. And I asked him, I said, tell me the wealthiest place on earth. He said, Las Vegas. They got all those casinos there. They could hand you cash as soon as you hit the jackpot. He was like, no, Dubai. Because even the police cars there are Lamborghinis. And they can afford to do something extravagant and lavish as that. I said, no, it's the graveyard. Because so many people take their dreams and their talents and the things they could do to change the world to the grave with them because they're afraid of what someone says or what someone may think. Or Larry, like you were saying, those guys think, this persona of it's just a form of fear. Oh, well, I may not be able to sell enough, so I won't make enough. And, it's just, let that go and take a chance, because you take a chance every day you go out here and go to work. You take a chance in this traffic. You take a chance at work. Take a chance here. Take a chance on yourself, for your family, and see what $99 can do for you. Or
absolutely.
Hey man, reach out to the person that invited you to this call. There's a reason that they did. Okay, take a good hard look at it. Here's 3 guys that have been in this business for 4 years or more. That hey, listen, our bills are getting paid. Like, we're not coming to you from a cardboard box. So obviously something's going right? But reach out to the person that invited you. Take a hard look at it. Listen, this is not what I envisioned. I would be a part of something like this, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Okay. I thought it was something that was silly. Okay. And like Larry said, listen, don't knock something that you don't know, you don't understand. When I took a good hard look at it and I got one toe into it, I said, whoa, we have something here. We've got something. And the last thing that I guess I'll leave you with is, guys, just continue to dream, man. Like, this world will hammer you down, to dust if you allow it to. This world will rob you of your ability to dream. This business doesn't. Like, I remember when I was, 18, 19, 20 years old, and I was making $100,000 a year. And like, I was like, man, I am set for life. You don't make any more money than this. Like, everything is perfect. I'm just going to coast for like the next 60 years. And I remember, my aunt was telling me, she was like, hey, Corey, like, you can do bigger and greater things. And I was like, you're crazy. I'm making 6 figures. What are you talking about? But with this business, every single month, I have the capacity to do something bigger than I did the last month. We are on our push to ambassador, and when we get there, the level of pay goes up substantially. Okay. Once we get there, we can go beyond that. The level of pay goes up substantially. There's no caps. The tall trees don't get chopped here. Okay. If you understand what that means, the tall trees don't get chopped. You can continue to grow as high as you want to grow in this company, as big as you want to grow, so just continue to dream, man. Like, this business will help to rejuvenate, in a sense. And that's not hyperbole. You may not understand the words that I'm saying to you now if you're not in this, or if you're in it but you're not really a part of it, you may not understand. But what I can tell you is, borrow from some of my confidence, borrow from some of my comrades' confidence here, okay? There's something that we know about this business that is the reason we take time out to talk to complete strangers. This is the reason we take time out to give back to those that we may never see, okay? There's something major here. We need you to be a part of this as well. Not because it's going to make me more money, not because it's going to make these guys more money, but because we know what it can mean for your family, right? It works as a blessing. Tell people about it. The person that invited you, they told you about it. You don't hold blessings to yourself. That's not the way that you prosper. That's not the way you're intended to live life. Share blessings with others, because you never know what this can mean to someone's everything. You never know what it can mean from their finances to their mental health to their spiritual health to whatever. You never know what this opportunity can be. So never hold that back. Always share that out, and you'll be surprised how you'll reap the benefits from what you're sowing in this business.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Thank everybody for being on. Larry, thank you for your time, man. We appreciate having you on.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
Most definitely.
All right, we will see you guys next month, 3rd Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Until then, have a blast, guys.
Carry on. See you guys.
Good night.